I send the invite over. So we're just trying to get it to come onto this section, and then we can introduce you to Matt and his page, and then we can talk all about it. So hopefully we'll get it all sorted. Which ways we can add you onto it? So say it as there you go, we
There
got
you
there.
go. See modern technology for you.
Oh, there.
There
It's so
you
hard when you're
go.
getting used to all the new different platforms and everything, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I've never used Instagram, as far as video calling or podcast before. It's always been through Facebook, isn't it? It's
That's
always been
it.
through a different format, you see. So it's sort of getting used to it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a bit easy with Facebook and the anchor because it's just one quick link and there you are and everything. So, and that, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. So how often do you use Instagram, Claire, as far as doing podcasts and
Yeah.
videos?
Well, I used to do the live on a Sunday morning. But then with
Okay.
moving, everything just got a bit hectic and chaotic with that,
Yeah,
setting
I can
everything up
imagine.
and that. But yeah, we used to try and do like the face paints, didn't we, off and on?
Oh,
But
yeah, we did. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but
so
yeah, how are things anyways? I mean, how are things with the move and all that? How are things going?
yeah, going really well. We still got a lot of boxes to unpack, but
Oh,
we're
right,
getting there
okay,
now. So we're a bit more
getting there.
closer to Wales, so it's been easily tempting to just go to the beach and after
Yeah.
they've done the
Oh,
learning and go to the
yeah.
sites
I
and
know. I
everything.
know what it is. Yeah, I know because I know it's good because at least now that you're closer to the beach, because I saw your photographs that you posted recently when you went to Wales, didn't you? You went to the
That's it.
beach, didn't you? Yeah, they're the
Yeah,
photographs. Yeah, yeah.
so with the
What was the name of
fighter
that beach
jets.
then? Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Yes, you can't
I
pronounce it. Oh,
know
it's
it.
Welsh, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it was near Conwy Bay. It was quite a
Okay.
way up there. It was past Snowdon. So we drove through the
Right.
other side of it. So
Sure.
we were
Yeah.
just going for one of those mad drives. It was like, which way, left or right? And we just kept
Oh, yeah.
going. And then we saw the fighter jets come over. And then we carried on a bit more. And then
Sure.
we just come across all these boats, just like at the side
Oh,
of this
right.
river and the sea. And then we just ended up at the beach. So it was quite nice. It just like
Quite
keep
nice.
driving
Yeah.
around. Yeah, keep finding it. And then you been.
Yeah, I've been all right. I've been okay. It's just I think the same old really with me, isn't it? But no, with my dad's legal stuff. Yeah, I got an email from the solicitor on Friday to
It's
say that
so you know it's public if you're talking about your finances.
oh right, is it? Oh, it goes public, does it?
It's public now. Yeah, we've got one or
Oh
two
right.
watching. I can help you with that later though, so don't worry.
Oh, I didn't know it goes public.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just like do you know when I used to do the lives on Facebook and I used
oh
to
yeah.
just like natter away while doing my makeup and that.
Oh yeah, you should like that. Yeah, I used to find them very entertaining, Claire. Your
Thank
Facebook
you.
lives. You used to talk about your hair, didn't you? And
That's it.
this, that, and the other. But they were very entertaining. It's always nice to know what you're doing, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. And you like, it's nice to have a good natter to everyone. It gives everyone a chance
definitely.
to like message at the bottom and that and see how everyone's doing and things. So
Exactly. Yeah, the beauties of technology, isn't it? I mean, years
that's
ago we
it.
wouldn't be able to have done this, would we? When
No,
you look
that's
back.
it.
When you look back back into like the 80s and the 90s, we never had this technology, did we? So you think now that, and especially with the pandemic, I mean, you can just interact with anyone all over the world, and it's just so easy to do. And even though you can't, with the pandemic, you couldn't be with your loved ones because of the social distancing, but at least you can do a podcast, can't you? And you
That's
can
it.
actually interact with them. It doesn't matter where in the world they are, but you can have a conversation, can't you? So
It's nice to just
it,
catch up with everyone and like meet either
definitely,
you got new people coming on or just like
definitely.
people you ain't been
Mm.
able to see for ages,
Yeah,
and
not me and you.
and that's
Yeah.
keep meet up every now and then.
It was August, wasn't it? When I come up with Dave up to Shropshire, wasn't it? It was August.
Yeah, I think so. So it was
Yeah,
just after my birthday, wasn't it?
it was, wasn't it? Yes, that was August. Oh gosh,
It goes going fast, isn't it?
it's gone so fast, isn't it? It only seems like a few months ago to me because it's so vivid. You know, I remember it. You know, and it's like it feels just like a couple of months ago that I come up
That's it.
to Shropshire and that. You know, for a couple of days, and yeah, it was fantastic. And yeah, I mean, you'll be able to come down to Devon soon, won't you? When you
That's
get yourself
it. We're
sorted out.
hoping so. Just
Yeah, I
got
hope so. Yeah.
yeah, we got a bit of a holiday later on, about a month or so, and then
Oh yeah.
we're gonna try and pop down later this year. So cross
Cross
fingers.
fingers, yeah. Cross fingers, yeah. That'd be nice because you got to get yourself settled in, haven't you? And you got to get yourself sorted, and I suppose you're still unpacking, aren't you? You've still got lots of boxes to unpack, and
The
so there's still a
carpet's
lot to do,
being
isn't there?
down.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
have you got a lot more to do, or is it most of it's done now? Is it?
well, we've carpeted nearly everywhere. We just got
Yeah.
one room left to
Okay.
do, but we might be knocking a wall through. So,
Oh, right. Knocking a
so we
wall
might,
through.
yeah, so we might be having to get new carpets. So,
Oh, yeah. I think you might need new carpets after that.
yeah, it's just gonna make a big mess. So,
Yeah, well, it usually does, doesn't it? You know, because I remember when we lived in Basingstoke, and I think my dad, when we lived in a certain part of Basingstoke, I can't remember where it was, my dad had to do that as well, knock the
mm,
wall through just to make
yeah,
it bigger, you know, because it was quite small. And when we lived in Kestrel Road, we my dad did that as well. My dad was actually really good at building, so we had to knock this wall through just to make the dining room a lot bigger because it was quite small. So
yeah,
we had to extend it. So my dad was really good because he built an extension as well. So he was really handy, you know. And I'm sure if he was still here, he'd be saying to you now, "I'll come up and give you a hand. He'd come up
that's
and sort your
it.
wall
Help
out for
knock
you,
it through.
knock it through." Yeah,
Try
but no,
need
go
to
back.
make it bigger. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So how's the kids?
doing really, really well. They're settling in quick. They're
Oh,
getting
yeah,
used
yeah.
to the area and everything already. So
Oh, that's
I
good.
think they're getting used
That's
to it
nice.
quicker than we are. So it
Yeah,
makes
I
it
think they usually
easier.
do. Yeah, I think
That's
with kids they do, don't they? Because I think
yeah,
they preoccupy themselves with things and they live in their own little world, aren't they? So it's
yeah.
just
Well,
they've got all their stuff and all their toys and fun things that they do. So I think it's all fun for them, isn't it? You know, when they're
that's
sort of moving
it.
into a new place. And so how's Dave then?
He's doing really well. He just literally sorted all the garden out, so it was a
Oh,
bit
all
like a
right.
forest when we come in. It's
Yeah.
quite a big
Oh, is it?
garden, and the grass was like knee high. And he's just gone in and got rid of it all, but he's left some like trees and a little hiding nook for the kids to run in and have adventure time in there and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So once it's all done, once the house is all ready, are you going to have like a home warming party? Or are you going to?
Hopefully, that's why we need
Yeah.
the wall gone because we had some family over recently and it was just a
Okay.
little bit crowded than what we used to because we used to
Oh, I
quite big
see.
open spaces. So we're just seeing how much room we can make at the moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're
Because
just
it'd be
sorting
nice.
that
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Because it'd be nice once it's all ready and it's all done, and it definitely would be nice to come up and see you. You know, and
That's it.
I'll see if Dave wants to come up. You know, and I'll ask him. But and we can come up and see you, can't we?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And as I say,
yeah.
we've got a patio and everything now as well in this one. So
Oh, that's even
Dave
better, isn't
was
it?
like digging away and he found all the
Yeah.
paving slabs. And I say the house is typically a bunker house.
Oh, is
So
it?
when you like history and stuff like yourself and
Yeah,
a few of the people that
definitely.
join in for this chat, It's all literally made out of World War material.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so it
Oh,
is like
wow.
1940 built. So
1940. All right. Year that I
yeah,
was born.
yeah, there you go.
1940, I was born. You
Honestly.
believe me, Claire, don't you? 1940.
You have me. I know it's not close enough.
So what's the garden like? Is the garden as big as your last garden? Because your garden was huge where you used to live, wasn't it?
So
Where you used to live, it
yeah.
was massive, wasn't it? So what's the garden like then? Is it a big garden? Is it
Yeah, so it's just a little bit shorter, but it's wider. So it seems
wider?
wider,
Is
so
it?
I think it's wider. Because when you go
Oh,
out
right.
now, there's like, we found an extra bit to the side because he took so
Yeah.
much back with the grass and everything. It was like, we've gained so many feet of garden, so it
Oh, that's
is
good.
quite big, and we're finding different areas all around the house. So it's like
Yeah.
different bits
Sure.
here and there, and got all like vintage sconces and things all above the windows and
Oh,
things. So,
wow.
and
Oh,
like
wow.
all the old cupboards built in.
Hmm.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
quite unusual, but we're just having to
Hmm.
work with it because but
Sure.
obviously with the old house, you got to take a lot of care with what you're doing to it so you don't damage
Of
it.
course you do. Yeah,
So,
definitely. Yeah. So
so
is it out in the forest? Is it where you live? Is it in like the woodland? Is it
it's sort
like
of in the fields. It's a
oh
little bit,
fields? Is it
yes, it's a little bit more rural, but
rural?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, but within a few minutes, you're like either in like in Shrewsbury, so you've got a big like city there to walk around, and then we're
Oh,
right
that's
by
good.
Welshpool and Wales and everything.
Yeah.
So you got the best of both worlds. You can go
Got the
either
best of
way
both
with
worlds. Yeah,
everything.
sounds like it. Yeah. Yeah. So what part of Wales is it that you're living in?
It's
What
on
part
the
of
outskirts,
on the
so
outskirts? Yeah,
it's
I'll get a pen and write
yeah.
that down because I can. I'd like to make a note of that. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
if you,
what's it
I'll
called?
send you the new address and everything.
Yeah.
If I
Okay. Yeah,
haven't
and I
done it
can look that
yet,
up.
I keep forgetting who I've sent the
Yeah.
address to because
Oh, do
with
you?
how much we've done, I'm still finding loads of people haven't got the address. So
Yeah,
you're just gonna let
I
me know
haven't
when I
got it
tell you.
yet, but I think you've got so many people, so many family members that you've probably given the address to that you're just trying to get round to giving the address to everybody else, isn't it? Really?
It's trying to get to everyone because obviously my dad's one of 17, and each of
Yeah.
their
Oh,
kids
yeah.
have had about three or four or five kids each. So
Oh,
there's
right.
like
Okay.
so many to keep in touch with, and them kids have had kids, and it's you
Hmm.
can't get in touch with everybody. It's so
I
hard
know
to.
you've got a big family though, haven't you, Claire? So
Uh,
it's hard to keep. It's hard to sort of get hold of everybody, isn't it? And
yeah,
you probably are getting there, but say you've got so many friends and family that you're sending your new address details to, so you're just probably getting to me,
we'll get
getting around
there.
to it.
We'll
You'll
get
get there
there.
like British Rail, Claire.
Well, with it only being 2 months,
Yeah.
we're slowly getting to the point where we can just like relax and go, right now, what have we done this week? Because it's all like been birthday preps as well, because Sophie's
All
birthday's
right.
coming up. So
Oh, is it?
we
Oh,
got the
yeah.
little girl's
Yeah.
birthday soon
I know. When's Sophie's birthday then?
in
Is it coming
July.
up? Oh, July. So that's only a month away, isn't it? So we've got anything special planned for Sophie's birthday?
Oh, she's got a few ideas of what she wants to do, so it's trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
work out where she wants a few
Yeah.
either animal experiences or she wants to go on stage somewhere. So that there's quite a lot of
Okay.
things going on that
Well,
she
that sounds
wants.
good.
So we're just trying to
Yeah.
find out which
If
one.
you've got to decide which is, yeah, you got to, find out which one, what she would like. And yeah, I'm sure whatever you do for her, I think she'll have a great birthday, won't she? So,
Oh, thanks.
yeah, she
Yeah,
should have lovely time, a lovely time. But
that's it.
no, I'll probably mention about my the solicitor and that because as you know, the probate registry, according to the
I w
solicitor,
I
has
wouldn't
lost
mention
the.
it live though. I'd tell me later.
I'll tell you
You
later.
keep forgetting it's live.
I keep forgetting. It's live.
Yeah, we best tell everyone what we're doing because what it
Yeah.
is, you run a page, don't you, on Facebook?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I do tell everyone it's just going to be a very relaxed chat when I get
Yeah.
on because you
Right.
know me, I
Okay.
say hello and then I start
Well,
nattering
I,
and
I, I do the same, Claire,
so
don't I? You know, you get carried away, don't you? Because you start talking, and then the one topic goes on to another topic, don't you? And you forget that you're
oh,
live.
that's it. I think it's so when you're used to talking to like each
Yeah.
other as well on and off the phone and camera and everything, you just
Yeah.
like.
Exactly.
For me, it's
Right.
a. I've
Do we
got a
talk about my
trick.
page? Shall I?
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I
Got
couldn't do the live stream the other
Arctic
week because.
coffee. Here
Oh,
we go.
very
Arctic coffee.
good.
Look, coffee latte. Look,
Very
Asda,
nice.
£2 an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
£2 it
was
was.
trying on this new makeup and the new style is putting blue under your eyes. I'm
You look,
used to
you
putting
look
it on the top.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, you
thank
look
you.
absolutely amazing. Yeah, yeah,
Trying to grow
just
my
perfect.
hair again, but it's yeah. So do
I tell you what, I love
you.
your hair like that. It looks lovely, Claire.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. I like the colour. I think the
Oh,
colour
thank
does
you.
suit you, and I think yeah, you look absolutely perfect as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, it's getting more natural now. I put a lot of dark on it
Oh, don't you?
about a
Yeah,
year or
it
two
looks
ago,
great.
didn't I? Thank
Yeah,
you.
it looks
I tried in
amazing. Yeah,
different things.
yeah. 'Cause I noticed it when I came on. I noticed it. I thought Claire's had her hair done, and it looks really nice. It
Oh,
looks absolutely
thank
amazing.
you.
You charmer,
I thought
you
they
you charmer.
there fitting for the
Oh yeah.
occasion. Oh, go.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the cross.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
can see that. That looks really nice. Yeah,
I'm
looks
rocking it
fantastic there.
out.
You're rocking it out. Did you want me to
But
talk about my page then? Do you?
yes, because you've got the one on Facebook, haven't you? And
Yeah,
is
the
it
Berry
on
Pomeroy one.
Instagram yet?
I haven't put them on Instagram. I haven't really thought about it really. I mean, it's always been like a Facebook thing, isn't it? It's always been a Facebook page since 2017, but I haven't really thought
Yeah.
about putting it on Instagram. But I probably will do. So I mean, because obviously I want to get it out there. So
Yeah.
I'll probably look into doing that. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, the Berry Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page, as you know, is on Facebook, and there's also another page called Berry Pomeroy Castle,
Hi,
and so
someone's just joined
yeah,
us to check the feed
monkey
out. So we're just listening
monkey
to
magic.
Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking to Matt about his page that he runs for down south for one of the castles. So you were saying, Matt, so what do you see at the castle, some of your
Uh,
experiences?
my experiences, well, I've had a lot of paranormal experiences there since 2000, no, sorry, 1996. And I've actually seen, I'm not sure if it's the White Lady, but I went down there about 2 years ago at the start of the pandemic. And it was myself and a couple of friends of mine. And then there was a group of people from my page, because I advertised it on my page that I was going to go down there with a few paranormal investigators. And so I said, if anyone wants to come down, please come down to the castle for 7 o'clock. And this was in the summertime, and it was still daylight. And so we all kind of like met up at the castle, at the top of the castle. You know where the two cottages are, Claire? Before
Well,
you
at
know you've
the
got the
top near the
driveway.
castle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we all kind of like met there, and we all kind of walked down to the castle. And a friend of mine called Sam Fradley, he was setting up because we all gathered around the tea rooms, and he set up his Canon camera on a tripod, and there was nobody there at the castle. Do you know where the entrance is, where you've got the arch?
Yeah, the
There
archway
was
to the
no.
castle itself.
Yeah, because he was sort of setting up his camera equipment just along the pathway as you go up towards the gatehouse, and he was setting up his camera, and he was connecting all the cables up, and he heard, the black iron gate, and you know how heavy that is. That's a really heavy gate.
Yeah.
He heard it shaking violently,
All right.
and it really made him jump. He nearly dropped the camera, and because because obviously when the way he was standing in front of the actual arch where the gate is, so he
Yeah.
could see if there was anybody there messing around, like shaking the gate.
It would have still.
He would have seen them. He would have seen them straight away because he was facing the arch. So if you can imagine, like where the arch is, where you go through the arch and you come to the black gate.
Yeah.
Well, he actually nearly dropped his camera because this gate was shaking violently, and he looked around. There was no one there, and that's one of the things that happens there.
Yeah.
But to cut a long story short, I mean, there had been a lot of people that had experienced all sorts during the night. They had the sense of being pushed and heard the sound of
Right.
children's voices, and there was no children there at all. And, you know, there was no children there at all on the
Yeah.
investigation, and there's no houses nearby or anything like that. And then some of the mediums in the group were picking up on some of the spirits, like Margaret, you know, who's the white lady, and Elizabeth, who was one of the cooks, who was like one of the head cooks back in
Right.
the 16th century, and they were picking up on her by the gate. And there was another medium there called Christine Matthews, and she was actually linking in with some of the spirits, and she was picking up on Elizabeth and someone called Dorothy,
All
who
right.
was like who was one of the nannies that lived at the castle,
Right.
and basically what she was getting was, because she was actually interacting with these spirits, that these spirits were wondering what we were all doing there. They were like curious, you know,
Yeah.
why has anybody turned up, and they wanted to know why they were dressed in the way they were dressed, because they were like, we were all dressed in like normal
Modern.
modern day
So,
clothing,
yeah.
and they were kind of like laughing. These spirits were all together laughing um, at the way we were dressed, which was like normal clothes, you know, because
We'd
back in
seem
their days,
like
obviously,
hipsters or something
yeah,
to
yeah,
them in our
exactly,
modern clothes. It'd be like someone having a
exactly,
rave party to all these like Victorian sort of clothes and things.
exactly. And there were commenting on this girl. This girl turned up in, do you know, like the gothic clothing? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
They've got the way, you know, like yeah, one of the I think one of these spirits was linking with Christine, who is a medium, and was laughing at the way she was dressed.
All
You've got to
right.
remember that these spirits are from the 16th century, but
Yeah.
found it quite amusing the way she was dressed in big platform boots, and the way that like people that are into goth, you know, dress. I mean, I've never
Yeah.
been into that, but yeah,
It's
and
because
wondering
it's all
why.
like modesty and like sort of shying away, isn't it? But then it
Yeah,
was
and
or like standing back and
yeah,
like the man sort of stand forward back then, wasn't it? So
exactly.
um
Yeah,
and a
and
gothic is
wanted
a
to
very
know.
strong
Yeah,
stance, isn't it? So it'd probably be a bit of
yeah,
a cultural difference to them.
bit of a culture difference as well, but also wondered why they weren't accompanied by any men. You know,
Probably, yeah.
why you kind of like why you know why, because back in their days, a woman had to be accompanied by a man apparently.
Thank
So
you.
true. So just yeah. So yeah, that night when everybody was starting to go home, you know, obviously the group started getting less because everybody had to go home because they had to get up for work the next day.
Yeah.
It came down to it was just me on my own, you know, because this was sort of around about midnight time.
Yeah.
And even though I was picking up stuff with my cameras and my equipment, I decided that I was going to call it a night. And so what I did was I went over towards the tea rooms, pick up my camera equipment, and which was all over in which is over in the where the tea rooms are, just outside. And I sent that sense that feeling of being watched, even though there was no one else there.
Yeah.
And so I went in there to get all my camera equipment. I checked my messages on my phone. Then I put my phone in my back pocket because I had my hands full. I had like an Asda bag, you know, full of food, you know, snacks that I had during the night. And I started leaving the tea rooms because obviously that was closed, but I was just inside the hut. So I
Yeah.
came out the tea rooms and I started walking along the gravel path, and I could see like a bright white misty sort of like light coming from the beginning of the driveway. So I
Right.
was
Is that in front
walking
of the castle or towards the exit?
towards the exit.
Right.
So if you can envision where the tea rooms is,
Yeah.
so going past the tea rooms, there's like bushes there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I was walking like with my camera equipment, and I could see what through the bushes like a white beam of light. It was fairly bright,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a spotlight bright, but it was bright enough for anyone to
You to
see.
notice it.
And yeah, and I actually thought there was somebody there with a torch, like a
Right.
beam of light. That's what I thought. But as
Yeah.
soon as I started walking nearer, and I just walked round the corner, I just saw a silhouette. There was a figure standing there. I didn't see the face, but I just saw like a white. It was like a white beam of light, but it was in the shape of a person. So it was like a misty shape of a figure, which I think was probably a woman, because I
Right.
could see like an outline of a dress.
I
So
get
it
you.
was
You can see
like,
it flowing outwards.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it was like just trying to envision someone standing there like a white wedding dress with a spotlight on them. It was like that.
Right.
So I couldn't see the face, but I could see like the outline of a dress.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a figure, but I didn't see the face at all because it was quite bright.
Yeah.
It was like the image was quite bright, and it was human shaped, but I could see that whoever it was wearing a dress because you could see,
The
like, mind
pattern
you,
and everything.
I only saw it for like about 6 seconds maybe. Then it sort of just faded away.
Yeah.
So I know what happens now. Like with spirits, they'll appear, but then all of a sudden, because they don't stay around for very long,
So
and then
it takes
they'll
a lot
just
of
suddenly.
energy, doesn't it?
It takes a lot of energy, yeah. Because I've known that for many years that it takes up a lot of energy, and that's why with spirits that they do interfere with electronic stuff and they do tend to tamper with it, and that's why when people have gone down there, they could have their smartphone with 100% battery. They could have full battery, and that could be
Yeah.
drained within minutes, or because if there's a lot of psychic energy there, then they're going to use anything that's electronic or anything that's got battery, whether it's a car battery or a mobile phone battery or a torch battery, that's going to pretty much quickly drain that battery
It's
because of the amount of psychic energy. Because I know a lot of people over the years have driven down to the castle and they've parked in the lay-by along the driveway, and they found that they've been having problems with their car because their car batteries died,
all
and
right.
they've had to call out the AA. A lot of people have had problems
Because
with
it
their
uses
cars.
anything, doesn't it? Cameras, anything that you've got on you that's
Certainly
got a
does.
battery or anything, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, they use cameras, anything that's electronic. They can tamper with it, and it can interfere with you taking photographs. And
Yeah.
sometimes you could be taking photographs, and then you'll go and check what you've captured, and there might not be nothing there. Because that's happened to me quite a few times where I've taken loads of photos,
Yeah.
and quite a few of them there's been nothing in the photo at all. It's just been blank. So that does happen, and quite often, and but mainly people have experienced car problems and situations where they've turned up at the castle, they've parked their car in the lay-by, which is along the driveway,
Yeah.
and they've taken their key out the ignition, okay, and then the headlights have come on by themselves,
All right.
which is weird, and that's when they've taken the key out the ignition, because you know that with a car you can't put the headlights on without the ignition, without the key to ignition.
Yeah, you do have to
So
have the car on for that.
definitely, yeah. And funny enough, the chef that works there, called Philip, that happened to him, where he was locking up one evening and
Yeah.
parked his car at the bottom of the driveway, got into his car, didn't even put his keys ignition, and the headlights came on by themselves
Oh wow.
and freaked him out, and he got out of his car and
Yeah, I
started
bet
running
it
back
made
up the
him.
driveway. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
carry
I
on.
bet it. Oh, just saying, I bet it make you jump, wouldn't it? Because when something out of the ordinary happens, because you go looking for
Hmm.
something, but when it's
Yes.
just little bits, because it's not always something big and like dramatic that happens, but when just like a slight thing happens that you know shouldn't happen, it
Yeah.
can just make people jump, can't it?
Well, it would do, wouldn't it? Yeah, and especially when you know that you haven't put the key in the ignition.
Yeah,
You know, when you haven't put the key in the ignition and your lights came on, and that would freak you out, wouldn't it? You know,
that's
and just sensing that there's a presence there. You
oh,
know, but as far as all the ghosts are concerned, I mean, that's my first sighting. But
like,
with that sighting, I just carried walking up. I mean, I was startled. I'd say I wasn't scared, because it was just, to me, it was just like, because I didn't see the face, I didn't see the arms. It was just like I could see like the outline of a human shape,
yeah,
and I could just make out what looked like a dress, but it was quite bright. This figure, and there's a lot of people that have gone there have reported the same thing. I can't say if it was the White Lady, but it could have been a number of spirits, because there's quite a few spirits there, as you know. But I
that's
just carried walking up the driveway. But I did feel, I have to admit, when I walked up there, I did feel that I was lacking energy, because
yeah.
obviously,
It's probably drained some to manifest into
definitely.
something so that you
But
could physically see it.
and it's taken me 24 years to see that, Claire. That was my first spirit sighting. That was 2 years ago. And I would say that I've always had experiences there, mainly I would say with my camera, because I'd go
Yeah,
down there and I would take loads and loads of photographs, as you know. Because if you go onto my page, which is Berry Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page, I mean, they're not all my photographs on there. There are a few that are, but mostly they're from different people from different ghost groups from all
yeah.
over the country that have taken them and posted them on the page. And as
Contributing
you
in their experiences and things.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, some of these photographs were taken by local people, Lindy and Roz, and I mean, Lindy's taken quite a few of them. I mean, do you know the ghostly horses one? The
Yes.
photograph, the ghostly horses. I mean, they were
So if
taken
you
by
just
Lindy.
explain in case people haven't seen it, it's on your page, isn't it? There's a big picture where there's like a
Yes,
mist and it you can actually see the mist is the shape of horses running
yeah,
through
and
the
horsemen. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I would say to everybody, if you're all on Facebook, go to Berry Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page, and like the page and look at the photos section. If you click on photos and scroll down and look at the mobile uploads, you'll see all the photographs that were taken at Berry Pomeroy Castle at different times. And there are pictures of the White Lady, the Blue Lady, Isabella, because you know about Isabella, don't you, Claire?
Yeah, too much
The
about Isabella.
Yeah,
She follows
yeah.
you home
She
sometimes.
can follow you home, everyone. I'm not trying to scare you,
No,
but
just
she
little tricks. If you're lucky enough, you'll just find things misplaced and just after the
misplaced.
visit,
Yeah,
don't you? So it's nothing too
she's
bad, really.
mischievous. She's very mischievous. She's from the 16th century, and so I mean, obviously, if you go on the page, it will tell you all about the history of her. If you look at the section about the ghosts, it will tell you all about Isabella and all the history, and about each of the ghosts and the spirits. And but there's a lot on there, a lot of stories on there, a lot of people that have had experiences, but it doesn't happen all the time though. So and
I
because I've
think
been
if you
going,
go expecting it, I think you just don't
it doesn't
notice
happen.
all these little things
Yeah,
that do make you think, oh, hang on, that shouldn't be happening because you're looking for something really obvious, so you don't notice all the little
exactly.
things that happen.
Yeah, if you're someone that doesn't believe it, or if you go there like mocking them, then nothing ever happens. But you've got to go there not expecting anything. Pretty much, you've got to kind of like train your mind a little bit, not to go
Yeah,
there expecting it. Because I was there a couple of weeks ago, and late at night, and I took my camera, and of course you can't get in the castle at night because the gate's
Yeah, it's all
locked.
locked, isn't it?
And so I was standing outside of the gate, the black iron gate, and I was pointing my smartphone camera through the gaps, pointing towards the main castle. And I
Yeah.
must have taken about 30 photographs, Claire, towards
Okay.
the main building. So as you can remember the black iron gate where you got the gaps in the gate.
Yeah.
So I was poking the camera through that, and I was just kept taking loads and loads of photos, and I must have taken about 30. And I caught the white lady on
Oh
camera.
wow.
I think I've shown you the photo, haven't I?
Yeah,
And
I've
you can,
seen a few on your page now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because I posted these on the page, and she's looking back towards me, so she must have been aware that I was taking the photo, but she's looking because I've enhanced the photo, so you can see her face, and she's looking towards the gate where I was taking the photos, and that's happened to me quite a few times where I've stood at the gate and I've taken must have been about 30 or more photos, and I've captured spirits on camera looking directly at me. So they've been probably aware of what I'm doing. Probably don't know what a camera is because I think back in the 16th century, the cameras didn't exist, did they?
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
so you've got to think to yourself, well, these spirits. I mean, they look at our technologies and they might be fearful of them. So they probably are quite apprehensive about coming forward or
They
or
don't know what they're
appearing.
going to do, do they? They don't know what it is. They
Yeah,
just can see you holding something at them, but they don't know what it's
exactly. Yeah,
going to do or anything. Because some
that's
make
what it is.
noises as well, don't they?
They do. Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
these like ghost detecting equipment, they either have like white noise
Hmm.
or humming or something going on. So
Definitely.
sometimes it can probably be a bit daunting to them, not knowing what
What
it
people
is
need to
and
do
things.
is, well, what I would recommend is, I mean, you get a lot of groups that use a lot of these ghost gadgets and stuff, and some of it can be detrimental because you've got to remember that these particular spirits are from a period, from the medieval period, and
Yeah.
some of these spirits are curious, but they're also quite fearful because they don't know what it is, do they? So I think you have to kind of
No.
like reassure them that what you have, whether it's a K2 meter or whatever, that they're not there to harm them, because
So,
they haven't got a clue what they are. Because I think sometimes they are apprehensive about coming through because they've never seen that kind of equipment before, obviously. So I just tend to try and keep things basic, really, and just like use an EVP recorder and just take photos. And
yeah.
because sometimes you can have too much equipment, and to be honest, some of this equipment doesn't really work. I don't think.
Some of the older
And
cameras probably catch more as well because you can't edit it or anything.
exactly,
So
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the older cameras where you can just snap a picture and
Snap
people
a
can
picture,
tell
yeah.
that you ain't like edit it in any way
Mm,
because you got to print them off and that. Sometimes it's a bit more believable to some people because a lot of people, when you say, oh, I've took this on my phone,
mm,
a lot of
yeah,
people, some will be like, fantastic, because you can look at the original source that it's actually from the camera and things, and
definitely,
you
yeah,
like they post it and they can send it into the news and everything.
yeah,
And you get
exactly.
some of these with the SLR cameras where it's very raw, like photo
Mm,
footage as well, and that's really good as well because it's like
it's really good as
fresh
well,
sort
yeah.
of thing, isn't it? Yeah,
Definitely. I would say to people, I would say go back to. I mean, I think the more megapixels you use in the camera, the more the worse the quality, and especially in low light. I mean, obviously the if you go into the castle and you're using high megapixels, sometimes the quality can be not that good. But
that's it.
I use my Nokia Lumia 1020, which
Okay,
has a xenon flash, which is very, very powerful, which is more powerful than your standard flash that you would have on smartphone cameras now. I mean, the Nokia Lumia smartphone, you still can get on eBay, but I've taken hundreds and hundreds of photographs with that. And the majority of the spirit photographs that I've taken, it has been using that one, and rather
oh,
than
brilliant.
my latest phone because it's got less megapixels
Yeah,
and it's got a much more powerful flash that can capture things that are really faint, which our spirits are.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to go back to the old smartphone technology, the old Sony CyberShot phones, but you want one really, preferably with a xenon flash. But unfortunately,
Right.
they don't make smartphones now with xenon flashes because they use up quite a bit of battery. But obviously, I use a power bank with my Nokia Lumia 1020, and it
All
works
right,
really
take a
well.
spare with you.
Yeah, I do. And I take a, well, what I do is I use a power bank, Claire, and I use a USB cable, and I connect that to the
Okay.
power bank, and that gives me that keeps my battery going, and I don't run out of battery. But
I always go through my battery no matter what I do.
oh, do you?
I can charge mine up and within a bit
Hmm.
it'll just drain. And I
It
don't
drains.
know if
Yeah,
that's because I tend to have a lot of stuff going on around me, but mine just
yeah.
always got
Do you know what that
time.
could be as well? I think that it's probably down to your battery settings. I think like if you was to look at your display and what your brightness is set on, and also just certain settings, I think if you was to change some of your settings, I think you would probably get a lot more battery. Um,
Hopefully, I mean, I've put mine, most of it is
hmm,
in dark mode, and I've even got like
that's good.
a low battery mode setting put on my phone.
Yeah,
So as soon as it starts to sort of dwindle down, it'll start like shutting down background apps and things like that.
that's good that you do that. Yeah,
So
but
it
I would
helps,
say,
but
hmm, yeah, I would say you want to look at your display. If you go to your display and your brightness, and just keep things down to a minimum, and especially your refresh rate and things like
yeah.
that, because I've got mine on standards, you can have higher quality refresh rates and things like that, and
I
you can
turn
keep your
mine up
battery.
for doing pictures. You know, like if
Yeah,
I'm just playing or reading
sure.
books and things on the phone, I tend to have it sort
Okay.
of quite low. But if I'm doing things like the streams or the singing, then whoop,
Whoop.
brightness straight up,
Yeah,
and then the tripod and be on.
exactly. But I'd say if you look at your settings, your battery settings, I'd say you probably would get a lot more battery if you was just sort of like have a sort of play with your settings. And yeah, I'd say you would probably put power saving mode on as well.
Try and do
That
something with it.
yeah, just things like that, Claire, because then that will give you a lot more battery. Because I've done that with my Oppo X5 Fine Pro, and I get like 2 days now of
All
battery, and
right.
it's fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic, and you've got to play around with all the settings. But anyway, what I'd recommend is, with regards to photography and spirit photography, is get a good, a fairly good camera. But I would say what works for me is I use a Nokia Lumia 1020, which is, I think, well, it's a few years old now. It's around about 2013, I think 2014 that came out, which I've got here. But I would recommend
Okay.
that one there. You probably can see it. It's called a
Okay.
Nokia Lumia 1020 because it's got a xenon flash, and
Yeah.
it's really really good. And you can get stuff like orbs on there. Because
Oh,
you find with like a
brilliant.
lot of these smartphone cameras like iPhones and Samsung nowadays, you don't really get a lot of orbs, or you don't really capture orbs now because
I only get orbs if, do you know, like on my singing videos,
yeah,
a lot of people probably think I put like the filters on. So
oh yeah,
sometimes if there's like heavy amounts of orb effects in there, then that's when Smule has added the sort of lighting or I've put it on for
sure,
the effects for the YouTube channel. But
yeah,
sometimes when you see just the odd one darting past or like doing intelligent sort of movements in the background where you can, it almost looks like it's thinking where it's going. That
yeah,
I like
okay,
to keep them quite raw because it's like you can actually see it in the
yeah,
background. And the only difference I do is I have one single main light on, but I have
mm,
everything else dark.
dark, yeah,
And
so, yeah.
it just seems to affect with the music. I
Oh, does
notice
it?
when I sing, I see more orbs when I sing. And when I
So yeah,
don't,
but well, they probably love your singing, Claire.
put in a
Yeah,
request for it. There
think
you
you
go.
yeah, I think you've got a big fan base there, Claire.
No, the trouble
But
is I can't see them.
you can't see them.
Just on
No,
the
well,
camera. There you go.
you see them on the camera, but I mean, some people can see them with the naked eye, but some people can, some people can't. But
Yeah.
usually they would appear on camera. But I mean,
I've
with that
only seen
particular
it
camera,
4 times. I think I've seen it about four
four
times with
times,
my eye.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but right, but I think I mean, you can use any camera, you know, to capture stuff. But I mean, I find that when I mean, I use that Nokia, and I find that I get loads of spirit orbs and all sorts on it, and because it's you know it's kind of like because of the flash mainly because the flash is more powerful than your standard LED flash because most smartphone cameras now have the standard flash, but
yeah.
this has got what you call a xenon flash, and it's much more powerful. Takes a bit
But
more battery up.
it's like what I said with the spotlight. It just seems
Mm,
to like that. I think it must be more energy releasing into the
yeah,
hemisphere or something.
maybe yeah, but I think with this particular flash, I mean, when I've used it at Berry Pomeroy Castle, I've captured loads of spirit orbs, red orbs, blue orbs, green orbs that I wouldn't be able to catch with my new smartphone, which because I've got the new Oppo phone, the X5, and I don't really get much orbs with that at all. But when I use that one, that Nokia, that old Nokia, it's fantastic. You know,
Brilliant.
I would recommend it for to go on eBay and look it up. It's Nokia 1020 Lumia, but you will want to get a tripod for it as well because it has an attachment where you can attach a tripod to it.
Yeah.
So it has a thread and get yourself a power bank and a USB cable, and you're set to go. And I would recommend that for if you want to get into like ghost hunting, and it's not overly expensive either because it's I mean you can pretty get them for about 30, 40 quid now on eBay, and but it
Brilliant.
serves me well, and I've captured loads of spirits on that particular camera because it can pick up on faint things, you know, like so if you're in the dark and when you use the xenon flash, it can pick up more than what you would get on a standard flash because you have to
Oh,
use the flash,
brilliant.
obviously, you know, when you're in pure
Yeah.
darkness, and that kind of darkness, really need a powerful flash. But that flash on that one on that Nokia, it's really good for capturing orbs and spirits and things like that.
And do you find
That's
it's
why,
best when you're talking to them, when you're walking around the castle
yeah,
and do you
yeah.
find it's been better talking?
I think you know if you have some knowledge on the names of the people that live there, the spirits. I mean,
Yeah.
as you know, I know who they are. You know, obviously because you've got the Pomeroy family, you've got the Seymour family. So obviously, I know from speaking with mediums, you know, the names of the people that are there. So it does help if you speak and call out to them respectfully, and ask them to give you a sign, and just say that you know, and just be respectful, and just say that I've come here with respect. You could say like, is there a spirit here called Thomas Pomeroy, or Richard Pomeroy, or Margaret, who is the White
Yeah.
Lady?
Is that the one in the
Because you get
tower?
yeah, White Lady, yeah, but you don't call her the White Lady because she
Yeah.
doesn't know herself as the White Lady. It's what we call her because she's called Margaret. So
Yeah, she probably
it's
is
like
white lady and is looking round
yeah,
like,
because
wow.
it makes me laugh, Claire, because you get some ghost hunters that go to the castle and say, "Is the White Lady here?" But
Oh.
she's not called the White
It
Lady.
it's because when they hear
Mm,
the stories of like the spirits
yeah,
there, but they haven't been able to talk to people who like yourself who run the page about it that actually
yeah,
know which
mm,
specific one
the
is
names.
for what one. Yeah, so it's a bit easier
Yeah,
when you can
well, the
research
White
it.
Lady is Margaret Pomeroy. So when you're there, you call out Margaret, so Margaret Pomeroy. The Blue Lady's called Catherine, and then you've got the spirit girl called Isabella, and then you've got Elizabeth as well, and then you've got Ralph. So you've got quite a few spirits there that have names,
That's the
rather than
name of
calling
my
them.
old boss, that.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
my old boss was called Ralph as well. So
Oh, Ralph. All
that's a
right. Maybe
small
he's
world.
haunting the
It's not
castle.
a... No, I don't.
Nah.
But it's yeah, because it's not a common name, is it?
Ralph, I mean,
I
it's
don't
not,
hear it
well,
regularly.
you don't really hear it regularly, no. It's not as common as Claire and Matt, is it?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really strange. There's a few people around me with my first name and David's first name, and it's really strange. There's like a load with that first name,
yeah.
so you can't forget your neighbours' names because they're nearly all called our
Well, yeah,
names.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But
It's easier.
but no, I would say when you go to the castle, yeah, it's good to call out the names and but if they go onto the page on the Berry Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page, there's everything that you probably would need to know is on that page with regards to the names of these spirits, and
And the
it's always
monk
good
in the
to go in there.
courtroom as well. In the courtyard, you've
Yeah,
got the monk as well, haven't you, that
the monk. Yeah, that's
shows up.
John.
Is that John, is it?
Yeah,
I
that's
never
Brother
knew
John.
it.
Yeah,
I never knew his name. I just knew it was a monk.
yeah, it's John. Yeah, he's very powerful spirit. He's very strong spirits, very
All
strong
right.
energy. But I think Christine Matthews was the one that picked up on his spirit the last time that she was there.
Yeah.
And funny enough, where you said that you saw him
Yeah.
in the courtyard, as you walk through the arch, the gates, you turn right. Then there's like a little set of stairs, isn't there, as
Yeah.
you go up to the ramparts. Well, before you get to the stairs, that's where she saw him, and I think that's where you saw him, and I think that's where another woman called Pamela saw him as well, and she had that sensation of being spun around,
Yeah. Because
like
that's
on a
what,
like,
when I
yeah.
saw him, he was just like, phew, around the courtyard. And
Oh
it
right.
made you
Oh.
quite dizzy because he was just sort of going fast to the point that even I
Okay.
had to sort of lean out the way because I thought, ooh, don't come near
Ooh,
me.
get out of the way,
But
yeah.
but it was just like sort of swooshing around. So
Yeah.
if you're sort of centered to where it's going round, it's going to send you a little bit dizzy. So if you're standing there and you're just feeling a little bit disorientated, perhaps he's flying around at that point or something.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've always wondered why. Because I mean, I know other people have experienced that, where you get that sort of dizzy feeling, where you feel like you've been spun around, like you're on a maybe you're at a fun fair, you're on a roller coaster, and you get that feeling. Do you know the waltzer at the fun fair?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like being on that. Then
disorientated.
you, yeah, disorientated. Yeah, it's that kind of like feeling, but I don't know
Yeah,
why people would experience that. I don't know. It's obviously it's a monk, isn't it? So I don't
it's
know
just to
why.
do with like the energy and the grounding and just consuming the
Probably.
energy, probably. It's all that
Yeah.
sort of like a time lapse as well,
Mm.
because it's almost like they're still doing what they're doing, we're in this world, so it's almost
Yeah,
a
because I
bit
was
of a
talking to yeah, funny enough, I was talking to Pamela recently because she lives in Salcombe now, and she was at Berry Pomeroy last year, and she was there with her husband, and because she's a psychic medium, and she was walking around the grounds, around the courtyard area, and she saw the spirit of the elderly lady that's there,
all
and
right.
there's a spirit, the spirit of an elderly lady that walks around the outside of the castle, and dressed in like looked like a gypsy actually, dressed in, she had like a shawl on, but she was
Okay.
transparent. She was transparent, and she kept following Pamela around the castle, trying to get her attention, and
Probably
she was
wanted to
looking
pass
for
on
her.
a message.
Yeah, but apparently, what Pamela was picking up on, that she was looking for her husband. Couldn't
All
find her
right.
husband. She said, like, she was communicating with Pamela and saying to Pamela, "I can't find my husband." But she was doing it in a different diet, like a different language.
Right, I
Apparently,
see.
yeah, because obviously back in those days they didn't speak the modern English that we speak. It was Old English. So that's another thing with these spirits, is that they spoke, like the Pomeroy family were French, and so they were speaking in their own language. They were speaking like the old
Oh,
French language.
I get
And it's
you.
like the Seymour family, who are English, who bought the castle off from the Pomeroys. They would have spoken the old English language that
Yeah,
the Tudors would have spoken. It's like, for instance, I mean, if King Henry VIII was here now, you wouldn't understand what you were saying because they used to speak in words like Latin. And
yeah,
if Anne Boleyn here was here, Catherine Howard, Anna Cleves, who are wives of King Henry VIII, you wouldn't understand a word that they were saying because they spoke the old English language. So the Seymour family would have spoken the old English language.
yeah.
So you wouldn't
So
understand what they were
progressed,
saying
isn't it?
anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
because Pomeroys were originally from Normandy in France, so and they came over here to work because I think work back in their day in France there was not a lot of work there, but there was in
yeah,
England, so that's why they had the castle built and yeah, and that's where they lived and worked and but they as I say they spoke the old French language. So not the
so,
modern French language, yeah. So there would be a language barrier, but I think now that because they're in spirits, if you're calling out to them, they would probably I don't think necessarily would understand what you're saying, but they would probably get it interpreted by their spirit guides. So if
yeah,
you went in there and you said, "Oh, hello, Margaret," and you started speaking to her, whatever you're saying to her,
yeah.
they would get that interpreted by their spirit guides because they wouldn't understand what we were saying
You'd
because they
have
would
to
have
just
spoken the
speak
old
very
language.
clear, wouldn't you? Just
Yes,
pronounce
yeah,
everything really, really clear
definitely,
for
yeah.
them so that they can
But people
understand
don't think about
everything.
that because you have to think about what you're dealing with, and you have to think about the kinds of spirits that you're dealing with. They're not modern day spirits, are they? They're spirits like from the medieval times. So
Yeah,
they wouldn't necessarily understand. And it's like I was saying earlier, they don't understand sometimes like the way we dress. But I think because so many people have been going to the castle for many years, they get used to it. But they do have a bit of a laugh, and some of them actually quite take it quite seriously. The way
yeah,
sometimes where people dress and the way they behave, and sometimes some of them can be quite stroppy because sometimes if you go there and you disrespect them or even just something like dropping litter on the floor, that would be quite a
yeah.
big deal.
That's
It's
the
just things like that.
that was that grey spirit lady that David saw. She was
Hmm.
the one sort of looking down in a strop at everyone. Sort of
Was
shaking
she?
her head. Yeah, she was
Oh,
like marching backwards and forwards,
you
not
know why
having
that
any
was,
of
Claire,
it.
don't you? Shall I tell you why she was stroppy?
Why?
Well, because you didn't sing to her.
Ah,
She wanted you to sing to her, you
oh,
see.
there you go.
And you
I
say,
should
well,
have
you didn't
stood
sing to me. I'm
there.
feeling a bit stroppy now.
And I
Only
didn't
joking.
see her either. I saw the monk, but David saw the lady. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
I missed out on that one.
Yeah. She was standing on top of the castle, wasn't she? Was it on the top of
So,
the,
yeah,
was she at
what
the
at
window or
the
was she,
not like the roof, but the window just underneath,
oh, the
walking back
window?
and forwards, then
Oh,
come
right, the
out.
building, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, from what he said, the feeling from
Mm.
her, which was like something just bad from
It
her.
was bad feeling,
I'm
yeah. It was
I'm
probably like,
relieved
what the
I
hell are you
didn't
doing
see
here?
her.
Probably wondering what you were doing there because I mean that's what people get because people have actually seen her walking along the top of the castle. Do you know where you got the gatehouse?
Yeah,
Well, if you look at the gatehouse from the front, you got the arch.
yeah,
Well, if you go to the left of the gatehouse, there's a wall behind it. There's like a long wall,
yeah.
and she's actually been seen walking along there, and then she drops
Ah,
down,
yeah,
and
that's sort of what he said. Yeah, she just said whoop down.
yeah,
So
I've not seen. Well, I've not heard any people experience that recently, but people have experienced that where they've seen her walking along the wall, and
yeah,
she looks at you, and she looks at you like with like an intensity,
yeah.
and then she just carries on walking along the wall. Then she goes towards the end of the wall. Then she drops down, that like vanishes.
Yeah.
So people have actually seen her, and dogs have actually seen her as well, and they started barking and gone mad as
All
well,
right. Because
and
they
the
have
dogs are
good
not.
senses, aren't they?
They have a really good senses, dogs, and and they've actually started looking and barking like mad and not wanting to go any further, you know. And
Mm.
that happened. I think last time I heard that happened was around about 2012, 2012, 2011, where they did see her along that wall, walking along the wall,
Have you
and
gone with one of
someone.
them cameras? Do you know, sorry to interrupt, you know, the one where I forget the name of it. Do you know the one where it does like that
Um,
stick character on the screen of your camera and you can actually see the spirits that are moving about?
I
Have
don't
you
know. I've not
seen
heard
them
of that one
ones?
actually.
I've
No,
I've got it
no.
on one of my phones. It's
Oh yeah,
one that you can record the voices that are being heard in the room, and if you switch it to the camera, you sort of
yeah.
swoop it round. But every now and then, when it picks up a spirit, you can actually see like a stick person moving about,
Oh, I've never
and
seen that. It looks the
oh,
same
it's
as that,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll show it you.
Yeah,
I send it over.
yeah.
But
Oh
that'd be
yeah, yeah,
interesting if
definitely.
they see it at the same time as
Hmm.
seeing them walking backwards and forwards. It'd be really interesting if that sort of picks it up and sort of
Yeah,
portrays like the
definitely.
walking and everything. And because it'd show the leg movement. So it'd be interesting to know, does she just sort of glide off or does she think she's walking downstairs or something? So it'd be
Well,
just really interesting.
what it is, it's probably that what you just said. It's probably that there must have been a staircase there back in the day, because obviously now it's a ruin, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'd say that obviously there was a lot more to the building back in the day when it was run as a castle. So I'd say it's not a case of her vanishing or anything like that. She's probably just maybe walking down the stairs or something. There's probably a staircase or a passageway
Mm.
in that spot where she vanishes and when she drops down. There's probably like, yeah, it's probably what it is. There was probably a corridor or a bit where it dips, and
Yeah,
you
just
know
sort of a ramp or something,
yeah,
somewhere where
ramp, or
that
could have been
she
anything.
goes.
Yeah, could have been
It'd be
anything.
good
Yeah.
if there's any sort of plans or anything sort of in the old
Mm,
history museum and things, you know, in
definitely.
the archives and that. You can sometimes
There's a lot.
get plans.
Yeah, there are a lot of things available. I mean, there are books and there are history of the castle, and there's plans, and there are. I mean, they are available out there. I mean, I would recommend get the Berry Pomeroy Castle book by Derek Seymour.
Okay.
He's got the Ghosts of Berry Pomeroy Castle, but he's also got a book on Berry Pomeroy Castle itself, which you can get on eBay. Because all you have to type is Berry Pomeroy Castle books, and it will come up.
Oh,
And that
brilliant.
would I highly recommend. But no, as far as the spirits are concerned, I mean, a lot of the spirits that are there are they're on visitation, and I'd say majority of them are on visitation. They're not stuck or anything like that, because you get some people that go there and make assumptions, thinking that because the castle's a ruin and because these spirits are there, that they're unhappy and that they're stuck, and which is not the case at all.
Yeah.
I think they're there because they're there because they want to be there, and it's like they're visiting the place where they lived and where they used to visit. Because all these spirits, like they're not necessarily all of them are spirits or people that live there. It's probably as well people that were visiting, you know, people that used to like visiting the castle, and or cousins or workers, or you know, it's not just
So,
the people that live there that are still there, but
and
a
then
lot of
you're
these
gonna have
people are.
pre-castle as well. So what was there before
Yeah,
the castle?
exactly. Yeah, because it was I don't know what it was before the castle, but I think it was just land. I think it was just land
Okay.
before the castle was there. So I think it was just fields, wasn't it, and trees. I think it was just woodland. Because if you look at the
Right.
castle, if you go to the back of the castle, there's a bit where it dips and there's all like trees and you know, as it goes down to the bottom. But I believe it was just all like trees and fields, and where the castle was before it was the castle. So I think it was all
Okay.
just trees and yeah, bushes. If you go into the castle, you know, as you go into the castle, Claire, if you go to the very back,
Yeah.
when you're looking, you're looking down to the bottom, and there's like a stream.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, well, where that castle is, it's all surrounded by trees, isn't it?
Yeah. So around, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So when you think about that's probably what was there. It was just all trees and
Woodland and yeah.
woodland. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
probably a
So
lot of wildlife spirits. That's
definitely,
probably like the
mm,
white odds because Sorry, blue orbs. Blue orbs are supposed to be
Yeah,
nature and earth spirits.
yeah,
So that's probably
definitely.
like your animal spirits and things that are just
Green
like
in
sort
the
of
blue. Yeah,
visitation. Yeah, that's
it's definitely.
and you've
And
also got a YouTube channel, haven't you, about your
got a
page?
YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah. It's not doesn't come under Barry Pomeroy Castle. It just comes under Matt K. So but all you need to do is type in Barry Pomeroy Castle on YouTube, and you'll see my YouTube channel. Because I mean, most of the Barry Pomeroy stuff, or I won't say all of it, but quite a few, it comes up under my name. So just type in Barry Pomeroy Castle, and when you see Matt K, and it will take you to my channel. But there's a lot of videos on there, but that weren't posted by me, and there's video footage of the monk and the horses and a few other things that were captured down at the castle. So all you've got to do is type in Barry Pomeroy Castle on YouTube, and you'll find a lot of stuff on there. There's so much stuff on there,
So I'm sure
and
if anyone's had any experiences, it would be great for them to probably reach out and share them
please
with you.
contact
And
just contact me through Facebook, Berry Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page. Send me a message, photographs, or if you've got any photographs that you want to share or any experiences, no matter what experiences that you've had, just please share and or message me or share any photographs or any comments or anything on the page. Because there's also another page called Berry Pomeroy Castle, so I've got two pages, and just share any photographs or any stories or any thoughts or anything, and then just come on the page and feel free to message me because as I say, but stuff doesn't happen there all the time, and as we know, Claire, that some will experience stuff and some won't. It all depends on how much you are open to it and
that's
how much you're tuned into it.
you
If
just
you're
got
not
to
tuned
go
into it,
very relaxed, haven't you? I think if you go there completely relaxed, if you ground
yeah,
yourself before going, obviously some need to if they get like things attached to them too easily, then just ground yourself
yeah,
before going. But I think if you just go very relaxed, open-minded, and
definitely.
I think that really does help. For me,
Take loads of photos.
that's it. I've been told I
Yeah.
have to wear red on my feet if I go.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it grounds me
Why is
when
that?
I go places. I've been told spirits will latch on to me if I don't wear red on my feet when I'm at haunted
Oh,
places.
okay.
Because it says I'm too nosy and
Sure.
inquisitive.
I mean, you're like the little Red Riding Hood, wouldn't you?
This says even the
Yeah.
spirits know I'm inquisitive, and this says I'm
Yeah.
childlike. And then she said something. Now I've never met this lady before, so I was like, is she just saying that because obviously she's talking about spirits anyway? And then she says, oh, and
Yeah.
they
Well, she,
told me you've got to eat more than just carrots for your veg. And at the
yeah.
time,
No
that
pizzas.
was, yeah. But at the time, out of vegetables, I'd like, yeah, I'll have carrots with that. I'll have carrots with that. I was
I'll
always
help you
like,
see in the dark.
that's it.
Parrots to help you see in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps me awake. But
Yeah.
I was always choosing, do you know, like when they say, do you want mixed veg with this or carrot? I was always choosing it. So I was like, out of every veg you can like sort of pick, because you could have picked sweet corn, peas, anything. I thought for
Yeah.
you to just like say that it's so random and sort of bang on, it was like threw me quite a bit. And then
Yeah, I mean that all comes into it as well. You know, your diet and all that. You know, with regards to how where you're going to be when you go to these places, because obviously your health, you know, that plays a part into it as well.
yeah,
There's so many factors involved in it.
that's
I mean, the thing
it.
is, when I saw that spirit 2 years ago, that was my first ever sighting, and
So,
I've been going there since 1996. So it took me 24 years to see my first spirit there at Berry Pomeroy, and
have you
yeah,
found
I've
you
been
more
told.
open since?
I'm more open since, yeah, definitely. I think what it is as well, as you know, that obviously the more times you go, the more, if you're respectful and you go in there with the right attitude and the right vibe, then the spirits will get used to you. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
all of them, but some of them will, and some of them will. If you're respectful and all that, then you know then they'll get used to you, and I think that's what it is. They once they get used to you, then you become, I don't know, you become more open and you get more tuned into it.
I think
So
as well, the more you go, you get more relaxed. So instead of trying to be
definitely,
relaxed to see things, you just genuinely are. Because it's like, oh, I'm here again. You can just
yeah,
like let your guard down, as it were. And then as soon
exactly,
as you let
yeah.
your guard down, you just start chilling. That's when you tend to just see it all, isn't it?
It happens, tends to happen when you don't expect it to. So, like, you could be there and you could be having a conversation with your friend and not paying any attention to it. Then that's when you probably will have an experience when you're not paying. If you come across as desperate and you know, and you're expecting stuff to happen, it never happens. Like with anything, and it happens when you don't expect it. So, and I wasn't expecting anything that night. So,
Yeah,
you have to kind of like train your mind a little bit because people get too excited. They get there and they're expecting stuff to happen, but and it very rarely happens. It happens when you don't expect it. But I would say when you're there, take loads of photos in every single area,
yeah,
windows, doorways, the grass, especially the grass, because that's where the ghostly horsemen have been captured and other spirits.
yeah.
Majority of actually, funny enough, majority of the spirits that have been caught there have been outside of the castle because you get these people that
Yeah.
climb over at night, and the majority of the activity happens outside of the castle rather than the inside of the castle and the woods as well.
Because I don't
So
realise they do travel. They can get
they
through
do
the
travel. They
castle
don't stay in one
walls.
spot. No, they don't stay
Let's
in spot.
see.
They don't stay in one spot. I mean, you hear the stories of, well, Margaret, the White Lady, she's seen in the tower. Yeah, she has been, but she's seen it in every single area of that castle. It's just because it's been reported that some of these people have seen her in the tower, but then there are other people that have seen her in other areas of the castle as well. I mean, she's been captured on the lawn quite a few times, so
Wow.
she's not just in one area; she's everywhere. The Blue Lady, she's everywhere. They don't just be stuck in one spot, you know.
Yeah.
And the horses, the horsemen, they're in different areas of the castle, but mainly they're on the grass and outside of the castle. So they're not all in one area. They're all over the place. So
And is it a
um,
National Trust property, that one,
it's
or English
English
Heritage, that
heritage.
one?
Yeah, English heritage. Yeah, but they don't like to promote the ghosts and the haunted side of things. You know, they're just promoting the, you know, the history and the ruin,
Yeah.
and but
But
they
for
don't like to
people,
promote the ghosts.
yeah,
Yeah.
for people to get like the direction and
Hmm.
prices and everything, it's best just to
Yeah,
look up there, sort of,
definitely.
look at the maps on Google just to find out how to get there and how to get
Yeah,
out,
yeah. I
sort of thing.
mean, yeah, it's easy to get there, but as I say, they have a. All you have to do is type in Bury Pomeroy Castle, English Heritage, on Google, and it'll come up, and it'll give you the directions, the phone number, where you can, yeah, you can look into it. And I would recommend people go in there and all times of the day and evening, and just take loads and loads of photos. And the more photographs you take, the more chances of capturing something. But I
That's
think
it.
really realistically, I think you know, to capture anything worthwhile, you really needs to be dark. Really, I would say more so. But then saying that, recently, as you know, Claire, there was a lady from Cornwall that went
Yeah.
during the day and captured the spirit of the girl at the back of the castle. Do you remember in the purple dress?
That's it. Yeah, right. The back, wasn't
Bronwyn.
it?
Yeah,
Mine was
Bronwyn caught
during the
that.
day. Mine was about
That was
10
during
in
the
the
day.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the afternoon time. That was late afternoon.
Mine was
So
dinner time. Was this in the afternoon, was it?
yeah, it was around about near closing time. It was about 4 o'clock ish, late
Okay.
afternoon. Surprising how many people experience stuff in the late afternoon times because it seems to happen in the late afternoon times quite often.
That's
like
probably
sort
when
of roundabout
people are
contact.
getting more tired and relaxed because it's getting late evening. They want to get the teas. They want to either go out for the
Definitely.
night or settle. And
Yeah,
so that they need to go onto your page if they want to know what spirits are there and encounters
definitely.
people are having. Check out your page and
Def,
the notes there.
Definitely, yeah. I would say just when if you're walking down the driveway, especially at night time, take loads of photos, especially down the driveway, because that's very haunted down there. So you've got the two cottages, the entrance, you've got the two cottages, then you've got the sign where it says Berry Pomeroy Castle, but you've got that mile-long driveway. So from the top, as you're walking down to the castle,
Yeah.
take loads of photos down there and use flash and yeah, you probably will capture something on camera because I've taken loads of photos down there and I've captured loads of stuff on
Oh,
camera
brilliant.
all over, But and also once you get to the castle, you've got the grass.
Yeah.
Take loads of photographs on the grass and and the windows and that whole area because anything can happen. Any split second, you could have a spirit that's passing by,
So, and
and you
if you
could actually capture that spirit.
take like a walkie-talkie, do you know the old-fashioned ones?
Yeah,
Because them are brilliant at
definitely.
picking up voices and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's like as I was saying to you, I mean, some of the older cameras, smartphone cameras, are I'll say a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, any smartphone camera can work, but I find using some of the older ones are a lot better. I mean, like the Nokia Lumia is really good for capturing things like orbs and spirits as well, because you've got that powerful xenon flash,
That's
and
yeah.
it's designed for that, and
What's that like at
really,
night? Is it really
really
good with
good,
an is it?
really good, yeah, because it's much more because it can deal with that kind of level of darkness. I mean, standard flash is okay for low, I'd say low light, but when you're dealing with a place like Berry Pomeroy where it's completely dark,
Yeah, it gets
that
pretty.
xenon flash on that Nokia Lumia 1020 is really good, and it can cope with that kind of darkness. Because some of these flashes you get on Samsungs and iPhones, there's like what you call the standard LED flash,
Yeah.
which are okay. They're okay, but I'd say, yeah, the xenon flash. I mean, they don't put xenon flashes on cameras, smartphone cameras now, because it does use up quite a bit of battery. But even though
Yeah.
battery, recent times, because I think they stopped doing it around about 2014. They stopped putting
Okay.
xenon flashes on cameras and smartphone cameras because it was using up quite a bit of battery. But now batteries are getting a lot better now. So
Yeah.
it's and obviously you have power banks now as well. So it's not a problem really, is it? Because if you take a power bank, then you're not going to run out of battery.
That's
But
it.
I would
I mean, with
say,
mine, I take a lot of pictures of surroundings, but I got an
yeah.
iPhone, so I
Oh
find
yeah.
it hard transferring all my pictures to my laptop. I have to get this little adapter put on the end of the
Right.
wire to connect it to my laptop to transfer everything over.
Oh right. Yeah.
And then I save it to my little hard drive.
Just send it to your hard drive.
Yeah, so I don't lose
Um,
everything.
yeah. I mean, with the older smartphones, I mean, like the Nokia Lumia 1020. I mean, you have Bluetooth on there, so that I mean, you can send the photographs over to your hard drive on your PC quite easily.
And they usually
And
take SD cards, don't they?
yeah, definitely. And or you can send it over to your. So if you was to get a Nokia Lumia 1020, you can actually use the Bluetooth and send them over to your smartphone.
Yeah.
Put your Bluetooth on your smartphone, your new smartphone, or the one that you have, and you can send the photographs over to that, and then you can post them on Facebook.
Do you know, I
So you
never
can.
tried Bluetooth.
You should try it. It's pretty good.
I never
It's
ever
pretty good.
tried it because I turned it off in
Oh,
the last house on my Bluetooth because obviously we had a lot of data taken in that house.
oh right,
So
I
I
see.
just completely turned off my Bluetooth. So I never tried transferring it
All
by
right.
that. So I'll have to try
Turn it
that.
on next time.
That's it.
Don't take your Bluetooth on, Claire.
Oh, well, we got a laptop, but it
Oh yeah.
That's all right. Just something moved.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
when I was using the laptop, it all just cut out.
Oh
Everything
no.
just went on it, went completely black. Couldn't get nothing working on it. I've had
Oh
to
wow.
send. I know it just really weird because it just made a funny noise. Screen went all black, and I couldn't find nothing on it. And I was transferring all like files and photos and everything, videos. So I've got a company fixing it, but luckily I always have Dropbox on. So
Oh, do you? I
everything,
see.
yeah. So it saved everything, luckily. So I got one of those 2 terabyte plans. So if you get Dropbox, then if you're at least walking around the castle taking photos,
Yeah.
you've got
Oh
that
yeah.
backup drive going on.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah. Definitely need that. Yeah.
oh
But
yeah.
um, but yeah, with Dave, I was going to ask you: is this Dave? Would you say he's a medium? Because he does pick up on quite a bit, doesn't he? With Dave, your
Yeah,
husband,
he
Dave.
picks up on stuff. Yeah, they've said basically he's very, very sensitive. This is similar to medium, and this is
Sure.
I'm more empath, but I can hear. So
Yeah, you can hear. Yeah.
yeah, so
So
he
he.
tends to more see them, whereas I tend to
Oh
hear.
wow. Yeah, because when you was at Berry Pomeroy, was that 2006 or 2007? Can you remember?
I think 6 or 5. It could have even
Oh
been
right,
2005. It's going back now.
2005. Yeah, and then because you
Yeah.
saw the monk, and then he saw the lady. Was she wearing the blue dress?
She
Was
was
that
in
what you saw?
like the do you know when it's that old white? It's not white, it's sort of like a vintage
Yeah,
creamy
vintage cream sort
grey.
of colour.
Yeah, it was
Oh
like that,
wow.
and her hair was tied up like a school mistress in a bun,
Oh,
with
oh
a
yes,
very stern face
very
walking
stern
around.
face. Oh
Yeah, the
wow.
one I
Yeah.
saw was more of a monk. I couldn't see the face because the hood was right over,
Yeah,
but
that's what. Yeah, because there's a
the
photograph of that monk, as you know, on the
that's
page that
it.
people have
So
captured.
it's a lot
Yeah.
taller than you can see in the
Mm.
photos because it's quite
Yeah,
tall. But
yeah,
because
yeah,
Dave's used to seeing spirits more than I am, he doesn't
yeah.
usually
Cool.
phase out or like think much
No,
when he sees them. But when he saw her, he sort of froze on the spot. And he said it was just her gaze was so intense. It was
intense.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, he said it was like the feeling of dread. Like you just had
feeling
that
of dread. Yeah, the
feeling.
negative
Yeah,
spirit. Yeah,
that's he said
yeah,
that
you
was
can
just like
feel it.
oozing from her looking at her. It was just like
And she was
something
directly looking
really
at
bad.
him.
Yeah, just like
Yeah,
staring straight in the face. So
wondering who he
yeah.
was. So who are you?
Well, they said it's like a
Yeah,
beacon. They said when they can sense someone can see them. They said it's like
mm,
waving a neon sign above them. So
definitely.
I think they just
Yeah.
probably noticed it.
Yeah, because I've experienced that as well, because when I've taken those, as I was saying earlier, I've taken those photographs from the gate at night time, from the black gate, poking the camera into the gate, and I captured that. Do you remember that gathering of spirits that I captured? Which was
Yes.
not far from the gate, and there was like a little boy, like a little child, which I've got the photographs on the page, where I was clicking away, and he was obviously there with a group of other spirits that were all sitting on the grass. So as you go through the black gate, the gatehouse, on the grass bit,
Yeah.
that was about a year ago, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
the
I
little
think
boy was
so.
looking directly at me. It was quite spooky. I mean, it was. But when I looked at the photograph, I thought, oh my God, he was looking directly at me, taking the photographs. Little
Getting
spirit boy,
inquisitive of the
inquisitive, yeah.
technology.
And he was wearing like a suit, like a little jacket with a white ruffled
Yes.
shirt,
I
and looking
remember that.
directly.
Yeah. So it was quite clear,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
he was because I took. I mean, this is what you have to do. You have to take loads of photographs. You can't just take a few there because I mean, you stand more of a chance if you take up to 20 or 30 in an individual spot. Like say if you're looking at the gatehouse, you can't just take a couple. You've got to take loads to stand a chance of capturing something. Because I know it's why some
Yeah.
people don't like taking too many because that means they've got to go. They got to look through them afterwards, and they don't want to go through all that palaver of looking for all the photographs. But I think you have to take many because, from my experience, that the more you take, the more chances that you have of capturing something. But you can
Yeah.
capture. I mean, if a spirit is there, if you're in the right place at the right time and you take a couple, yeah, you still could capture something, but I think you stand more of a chance if you take more. That
Yeah.
night, I took up to 30 or more photos, and I just kept clicking away, kept keeping the camera still, poking it through the gate towards the main building, and I captured that gathering of spirits. And so absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely
It's good,
fascinating. I
isn't
wasn't
it?
expecting that to happen, and I went in there with no expectations of capturing anything, and I find that that's the way to do it. Is don't expect anything to happen. That
That's
way, then yeah, I don't know. It just seems to happen. And the little boy was standing there with a gathering of other spirits that looked like they were sitting down,
yeah,
and there looked like there was a spirit there with a chef's hat on as well, and there was a like a little girl and someone wearing a green dress, and they're all kind of looking towards my way, like, and he was standing in front of them, looking towards me. So they must have been wondering what I was doing, taking all these photographs,
you'll have them
But
setting up the old-fashioned camera. Do you know the
mm,
old one with
yeah,
the little cloth and the taking
definitely,
one of
yeah,
people walking around?
yeah.
That'd be quite
That'd be a good idea. You
interesting.
should go. Yeah, when you come down, we go to Berry Pomeroy Castle, and you could sing to them, Claire. They might come forward then. They might. That's what they might be needing. They might need some entertainment.
If they
Yeah,
did like an event where everything was sort of set back, where
yeah.
everyone was sort of in that sort of time period, I bet you'd probably see loads.
I would say so. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you had an event there, say you had guys dressed or people dressed up in period costume, and especially the music as well, because that's what I do. Is I when I go down there, I got Spotify and I've got a Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah,
and I play a lot of the old medieval music, and that really does help. I'd
yeah,
say out of every single, because you got all these ghost not ghost apps because they don't work, but these ghost gadgets. Well, I mean, in my opinion, a lot of them don't work. I don't think necessarily, and I think when you go to a castle like that, especially a medieval castle, and your spirits from the medieval period, I think the first thing you're going to think about is playing music because music's powerful, and especially music from their time period.
yeah.
Now, I introduced that a few years ago, where I took my smartphone camera down there, and I had my Spotify going. I was playing. There was an Irish band called Clanad, and there's a song called Harry's Game, and I played that, and I was taking loads of photographs, and I was getting loads of spirits on my camera. I was taking loads of photographs, and I was getting lots of activity. And
Oh,
I
wow.
went down there with my two friends, Roz and Lindy, and they were getting stuff as well. We were playing a lot of the old sort of type music, the medieval
Yeah.
Renaissance music, and of the time, and that does seem to work.
Oh,
Music's
brilliant.
powerful, and you wouldn't want to go down and play Justin Bieber or anything like that because that won't work.
No, they'd run off.
They would run off,
They'd be
or
like,
today's
"No,
music.
I'm not." He can't sing at
No,
the moment, though, can he? 'Cause he's
no,
paralyzed
but
or something. But
yeah. And as an example, you wouldn't want
I
to be playing
know.
modern music down there because they would know it. But you got to try and play stuff that they would be familiar with, like Greensleeves or but stuff like, I mean, Enya's pretty good because Enya's
Go
kind
around
of
with your
like,
guitar. You want something to
yeah. Have you
play
got a
with.
guitar, Claire?
We've got a few guitars and
Oh, come down, Claire, with your
different ones
guitar, and
anyway. I'm more of
or
a
you,
piano now, but
we'll bring your piano down.
I used to play guitar a lot, but
Oh
then
yeah,
because of my fingers and my thumb dislocating, it's hard to keep up with that.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Especially with your finger dislocating and all that.
That's
But yeah, with the music and that, the music does definitely work. And there's an old French song called Alouette, and Lindy usually plays that as well when she's down there. And yeah, she gets loads of activity. And
I
Isabella,
used to
Isabella?
I used to sing that.
Oh, did you? Well, there you go. You come down and sing Alouette to them.
Alouette, chérie, alouette,
That's
alouette,
it. That's it. Yeah, come
alouette.
down, Claire.
There
Well,
you
we're going to
go.
book you for Saturday night for Berry Pomeroy Castle. We're going to have you booked.
But only if the
Oh,
spirits turn up.
They might. Well, I think they will turn up. They haven't heard your voice, have they?
No.
No.
Unless
Oh,
I've been
this would
humming when I went last.
be a nice surprise for them. Yeah, come down. I'll say, I'll tell them, like, I'll say, we've got a booking for Saturday. Claire's coming down to sing to you. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What's,
I don't know who would be more surprised, the spirits or the visitors.
don't know about that. Maybe the visitors.
That's it,
But
probably.
no, but yeah, it's definitely got to play that kind of music down there because it does help and it really does bring the spirits forward because
Yeah.
you got to do things down there that will be familiar to them, and
I've
if anything
spoke
that
what I think it was a Hawaiian to a spirit before. That got good responses.
I'll do it. Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I had to pick up a couple of phrases
Mm.
like be careful and hello and thank you and things like that. And it
Oh,
did
wow.
actually work. David
Oh, did
went
it?
over
Well
a
done.
step, and when I shouted, be careful,
Yeah.
he literally felt something tug on his like shirt
Oh,
backwards so that he
oh,
didn't
wow.
fall. And I
Yeah.
was like saying thank you and Hawaiian back to them. So it was like really, really
Oh,
unusual. So I don't know why it worked, but it did something.
did something. Yes.
That's
Yeah. Well,
it.
that's good. That's
But
good. But I think you have a natural ability, don't you? When you're interacting with spirits, and I think you go in with the right sort of vibe, and sort of like they're probably attracted to your energy as well, aren't they? So
gotta
you've
be
got to go with a good
upbeat.
vibe as well, because if you're negative, then they'll pick up on that, and then they won't come forward at all. So you've got to go
That's
in there with a good vibe. That's really important as well. And that's another factor in your chances of having an experience when you go into these places
that's
with the right sort of mood, the right vibe as well, because
it's like
that's very important.
you don't have to go in full belief, but I think you just have to go in being open. So I
You've got to be
think,
open, yeah,
yeah, I
definitely.
think if you're definitely sort of closed off,
Mm.
it's like not wanting to pick up a phone. It's like you've got to at
Yes,
least pick up the phone, and if you don't like what's there
definitely.
or no one's there, it doesn't matter. But you got to at least pick it up.
You've got to at least pick it up, yeah.
That's
You have to be open because if you're closed off to it, you probably won't have an experience. But then saying that, there are a lot of skeptics out there that have become believers that because they've not gone in expecting anything to happen, and they have had experiences or they've had something that's happened to them that they can't explain.
yeah,
So sometimes you find your skeptics. Sometimes I wouldn't say all of them, but some of them have gone there and have sort of not necessarily believed it, but have been surprised that they've had an experience that they can't explain. So
yeah.
sometimes it's your skeptics that will eventually become believers. Because sometimes they'll go to these places not expecting nothing to happen, and then something will happen to them.
That's
Something will happen that they can't explain themselves.
Are
And
you
that's when
hearing a
they.
whistle every now and then? I'm hearing a whistle.
I think well, the only thing I can hear, I've got seagulls out. I can hear the seagulls. I don't know if it's a whistle, but I can hear.
If you
I can hear
listen back to the live video, every now and then I've
yeah.
heard the odd whistle and things. So just
Um,
listen back to it, see what you think, whether it's
I think
is
I'll
he
have a
or not.
listen back. I can't hear a whistle, no. So, but I suppose because you've got your headphones on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's the spirits. Maybe it's the spirits whistling at you, Claire. Yeah, probably just saying, yeah, come down Saturday and sing Alouetta to us.
I'd have to
That's why they're
remember
whistling at you.
all of the words. I used to just keep
Yeah.
repeating the main bit
Mm.
over and over again.
Over and over and over and over again. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah. So have you hear from Terry today? Is he busy today?
Yeah, I think he was going to join us on here, but
Oh,
I
missed out,
think
any?
there was that problem with his Insta page, so we might have to
Oh,
take
right.
some of it onto Facebook and see how we
Yeah,
got on with the Facebook side of things if
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
still online.
Definitely. But can he actually watch this video back? Can he afterwards? Can he?
Yeah, if he's on Instagram, he'll be able to see everything on here, or
No,
if any of you wants to
yeah,
share
hopefully,
it.
yeah, 'cause it'd be nice for him to see it, and it's a shame he couldn't join us. But yeah, so is he on Instagram? Is he,
He
Terry?
was, but I think he had a problem with his page or he closed it because it got busy.
Oh, right.
So
Oh,
I'm
I see.
wishing we were over here. And I
Well, I hope he
said
can
if
see
not,
it.
we'd have to go back over onto Facebook and probably do
Yeah,
it on the Facebook page. So
sure.
which is 5 past midnight south and then 5 past midnight north, isn't it? So we check on
Yes,
them.
definitely.
I try and post the stuff from Cannock Chase onto the north, but because it's been so busy, I haven't really had a chance
Yeah.
to keep finding
Well,
everything out and putting it
well, you
on
can't.
yet.
Yeah, it's having the time to do everything, isn't it? You can't do everything, can you?
Oh,
So,
that's it. Well,
but
I've done my elbow in, so
oh, have you? Oh
yeah, I
no.
haven't been able
Okay.
to move my arm properly for the last week. So, um, I've been like today's been like okay, and yesterday, but
Yeah.
it's because I sublux easy and pop. I did my it's my elbow this
Um,
time, so it's trying to get
oh,
it
blimey,
moving
Beth. Gosh,
again.
you're in the wars at the moment, aren't you?
I know, which is probably why I see a lot of things because
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say so. But yeah. Well, hopefully you'll feel a lot better soon.
hopefully.
But it'd be nice. Nice. It'd be nice when you come down again because we can all go to Barry Pomeroy Castle. And it'd be interesting to see if you and Dave pick up anything. Because last
Yeah,
time we went there, I think the girls, I think your children was picking up stuff, weren't they?
yeah, just like tapping on the shoulders.
Tapping. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the odd little tap here and there. Everything was quite peaceful and calm.
Yeah. Cool.
And then
Yes.
when you came, it was almost like they're here again. Because it was like that atmosphere. It's like sort of, when someone recognizes someone, you can just
Recognize
feel
somebody.
that someone knows
Yeah.
someone. You're like, oh, do you know them? Because you can sense it. And
Yeah.
it
Is
was
that what you
sort of,
sent?
yeah, it was almost like we knew you were there before we saw your car. So it was like, I think he's
Oh,
here.
right.
And we looked and he's like, oh, yeah, you are. So, and
Oh,
then you
wow.
come in, and
Yeah.
that's when the atmosphere just changed a little bit. And that's when we started getting the taps
Mm.
and little like in your ear and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's just a
How do
little
you,
bit weird.
yeah. Yeah. When you said that the atmosphere changed, do you find it very peaceful? But then I mean, how did you find the atmosphere though overall there when you went?
At first, very peaceful. Like you could just
Yes.
walk around. And then afterwards, it just felt a little bit active. That's the only sort. I
Active.
couldn't have said like
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was like tense. I didn't feel sort of buzzing. It just felt
Mm.
active, like
Just felt very
people was
active.
rushing
Yeah.
around and sort of gathering
Mm.
sort of thing. So almost like, do you know when someone knocks the door and then you get that
Yes.
busy sort of rush to the door. Yeah. And you get that
Yeah.
sort of like, quick, they're here, quick, 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 get it right here.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sort of
You know what you mean?
yeah, that's sort of an atmosphere. Well, that's what happens there. When someone knocks the door, it's quick, get the dogs, get the everything in the back so the puppy
Yeah.
don't get the door. And it's sort of that rush sort of feeling.
That sort of feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like that sort of feeling when you
Yeah.
came.
Yeah, because that's what James Orchard, I think it was Hannah or James Orchard. I think they were picking up on that when we all went. Do you remember when we all met up? And
Yeah,
I think it was either James or Hannah that was when we was in the kitchen area. She said that she felt that there was a lot of rushing about, or
yeah,
there was
that's
spirits
it.
there that were kind of like going about their business,
Yeah,
and that the kitchen area felt very active, didn't it? And this was during the day,
that's it. It just
and she
felt
was
very
picking up.
busy all of a sudden.
Mm,
Because before
yeah.
and when we was walking around, it was like it's very quiet. They must have sort of having a break or something, and then it just changed
Then
completely.
it sort of changed again, doesn't it? Yeah, because it
Yeah,
can change very quickly there, can't it? It can be very peaceful one minute, and then it can change the next minute. And but I've never felt it. I never felt anything negative there. I've never felt it to be because you get all these people that have said over the years that it's a foreboding atmosphere, but I've never experienced that. I've never felt that. But
Only
I think
in
that,
2005 for me, just because it
yeah.
personally, when after my visit, all of my medication disappeared out my handbag.
Oh,
So
right.
all my antihistamines that I have to keep
Yeah.
on me and my inhalers, and then about like I think it was on the night time, the door opened and closed to my room, and then I had a reaction to food that I
No
don't usually have
reaction.
a reaction to, and I was
No,
like
no.
searching for my bag for my tablets, which are always in a sealed zip compartment so it can't fall out or anything. And then I said,
Mm.
well, I need it. I can't breathe. And I was starting to get anxious. And David just like, they put everything out the boot. And you know how you have that cover lining in the boot?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
lifted
definitely.
that and just said, I'm checking everywhere. So he went under the chairs and he lifted that. He found my nailers and my tablets and some other bit all inside it. So it's
Oh,
like, quick,
right.
get
That's
a few
weird, isn't it?
down in.
Very strange, that is, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was
Yeah, because
only
you
from the first visit, though. So that was really
to
weird.
the castle. Yeah, that may or may not have been connected to the castle, though. You just don't know, do you?
No,
What do you
so
reckon?
well, I went there and then Blackpool straight after each other. And
Yeah,
around Blackpool, I kept having that. Do you know that rotten egg smell? So it's like
yeah, I
sulfury
do. Yeah,
smell. That was just everywhere. And I don't mean like because it was dirty. I mean, I could just smell it around
it's
some
a
of
smell.
the
Yeah,
areas. Just every now
pretty
and then you could
strong.
just, yeah, it was just really weird.
Very strong smell, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
rotten eggs. Mm.
But when I looked, you couldn't see nothing that would like indicate, oh, it's from that, or it's from the sewer, or it's
No,
from this building. It was just every now and then
yeah,
you just smell it, and it was
you could just
like,
smell it. Yeah, very
yeah, it was
strong
just
smell,
a
isn't it?
very, very
Rotten
weird couple of days. It was just sort of carried on just from when I went to the castle. So
yeah,
it was just a bit weird.
it is a bit weird, isn't it? Especially when you smell rotten eggs.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, I had all pictures
no,
of the castle on my phone at the time as well, so there was that connection still to the castle while walking round.
yeah, because it's also said that if you take anything from the castle, whether it's a stone or something like that, I know it's happened to some people, that sometimes you'll get told psychically to go and put it back. Or I've heard of experiences where people have taken something from the castle and they've had a spirit show up in their rooms,
Yeah,
and they've been told to put it back, or they've heard a voice like in their head to telling them to go and put it back. It could just be like a stone or or anything, and they've either seen something or a spirit show itself, or they've heard a voice in their head
yeah,
telling them to go and put it back. There have been quite a few stories about that does happen. And with regards to Isabella following people home, that's supposed to happen as well. But I don't know any recent sort of experiences that happening. I know there's a few people.
Um,
There's someone called.
I just gotta say, so I need to get a warmer drink. My throat's just starting to go
Oh,
really
okay, that's
funny,
fine. Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to
get
cut it
yourself a
short.
drink.
But we'll continue another day. We'll set that up, and anyone who wants to
Yeah,
join
okay,
in can
that's
come
fine.
back. Let's go. I'll
Yeah,
just go and
okay. So
get something. It's
we'll
just
have a
been plain
part
on the
two then,
sweet.
shall we?
That's
Another
it.
time.
That'd be
Okay
great.
then.
But check out Matt's page
Yeah,
and drop
check
a
out my
link in the
page.
comments, and we'll get
Yeah,
that sorted soon. Thanks for the
Berry
chat,
Pomeroy
Matt.
Castle Haunted Heritage page. That's fine, Claire. Okay,
That's
get yourself
great.
sorted out,
That's all
right?
right. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for
Good night from me. It's good
joining.
night from Claire.
There you go.
Okay.
Thanks,
Stay
everyone.
tuned, everyone.
Take care.
Bye bye
See you
now.
soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.